You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Is it a little tight?
Yeah,
it's a little tight.
You can move that.
No, I can do it all right here. Just move it on back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're on episode 290. It is April 27th, and we are headed to Dover tomorrow morning. Did you pack warm? Bring your. I tried to order galoshes. I'm going to Home Depot actually right now to return some plants, and I'm going to remind my. Ooh. I'm not going to remember. Yeah. Hey Siri, set a reminder for 6:25 to buy rain boots.
Okay.
That's how my life is now. My entire life is. Yeah. Do you do it?
Yeah, I do that.
I
say hey Siri, set an alarm. I pushed one for like 3 times today because Marissa wanted me to put something in the crock pot and put it on high when I was leaving. And I put like 5 alarms because I was like, I'm gonna forget that thing for sure.
Do you put an alarm that is Tuesday and then you gotta?
Yeah, okay. But I was just doing heavy in the AI today.
Good morning, Kyle. It is Tuesday. Don't forget to go to the Spicka Span Show a little later today.
Yeah. I did a lot. I did that video.
It did. It was good.
Go check out the Spicka Span Instagram.
I didn't do that.
I didn't do that one though. Someone did that.
Oh wow! I like to be hey, fans. You guys, send it in if you got it. Let us know that you care. Send us, if you guys want. If you're like, hey, look, I think that this fits the show's theme. We're happy. We're ready to rip. So, anyway, welcome everybody. We've got a bunch of stuff to announce. We've got a great guest on, is literally in the waiting room right now. So we're going to get him on early. We're going to go through all the thank our sponsors like BFPGear.com, Pate Smith Law, Gen X Global, Tigerwear, HORMESIS, and Island Designs. We're going to get to all of that a little bit later. Event. We got move of the event, so we're going to cash
field
somebody
breakdown.
out. We got the field breakdown. And dude, I won gold bar from Robinhood.
Like a gold bar?
Like a gold bar. Like when it says deposit money and you get every dollar you get an entry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won. I had to instead into the
like
thing.
An actual full gold bar?
It's a 1 gram gold bar. It's not an actual...
So is that like...
it's a gold bar to ants. I think it's the size of my pinky nail. It's like a SIM card. Solid gold SIM card.
Or like a micro US...
It's a micro USB... Yeah, it's a USB...
When you put in a camera?
Yes, it's exactly the size. But...
Damn.
I know. I got the email and I was like, well, this is obviously a scam. So I put it into my trusty cloud. I was like, is this a scam? It said, it might be a scam.
Because
don't click anything.
Oh, there is a Robinhood scam going around.
There's lots of them. I'm on like a scam this guy database. Because they get me every time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? I am not going to click this link. No chance. And then I started talking to Claude a little bit. It's like, it could be, maybe not. It might be, should be, and then I was like, well, I'm going to click it. Because what if it's not?
Yeah.
And everything online was like, don't click it. And there's no thing going on. But I was like, man, I really do remember it saying that. And then anyway, lo and behold, gold bar. And I was like, damn, I got a gold bar. And there was like 1 gram gold bar. And I go, there's a lot of grams and ounces, and an ounce is worth this much. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. But hey, gold bar. And then I Googled it. And it's pretty like look at just look at no wait no yeah like a real gold bar.
Oh, so real gold bar is 12,000
grams. Yeah. But like an ounce of gold is like $4,000, right? 4 and change. And I think there's like 35 grams in an ounce or 30 grams in it. There's like some sort of 30s. So it's 1/30th of like a little coin. Yeah. So now look up, Google what's the size of a 1 gram gold bar. I don't even think you can call it a bar. It's pretty much a SIM card. 28 grams in an ounce. There it is. All right. Without further ado, I want to get our guest rolling right now because the excitement is there. It is.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Who makes that? NVIDIA?
I don't know. It's the size of a thumbtack. Whatever. I got one. Shout out to Robinhood. Click the link in my bio.
No, it's smaller than a thumbtack.
Yeah, it's slightly smaller than it. I mean, it's crazy that they make all those things. A kilo of gold, the size of my iPhone. That's what I need.
You could get it make it into a necklace, maybe.
I just had to pay my roof, the final bill for my roof, and I just at one point in time I was like, imagine if it was a gold. Yeah, here, I got a gold bar. You could take this cash or you take this gold bar. Which one was it? And he says gold bar. I'd be like, bam, I didn't bet you didn't know they were this small. All right, everybody, we're going to get our guest in here right off the break because, yeah, we're going to switch it up. John Brinkman, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Hey, fellas, I'm doing good. How are y'all?
We're doing good. Well, I don't know if you've have you been watching the show at all?
As far as up to this point, as far as the one that you're airing right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I was in. It had me on a black screen on hold.
So if you pull up YouTube, if you have a second computer, you can see the comments. Just put it on mute. But we were just talking about how I just got my very first gold bar today. I won it in a contest. It is a 1 gram gold bar, and I didn't know that they made them that small, but I won it anyway, so we're on a high right now.
1 gram?
A 1 gram gold bar. I didn't know. So hey, we're winning over here.
Didn't know they made those.
Neither did I. Which is why I was super excited when the email came over. Like, you just won a gold bar. And I was like, tell yeah.
Is that what it said? Like,
Yeah.
It said you won a gold bar.
Gold bar. Yeah. A 1 gram gold bar. Again, it's all perspective. If you're an ant, that's a big bar of gold right there.
Yeah.
If the price keeps going up, it's going to be worth something.
I'm gonna give it to the kids. I just made some space in my safe deposit box today. Anyway, hey, welcome to the show. There's a lot to talk about. The second event coming up. You guys, as the Hurricanes, you have a lot of hats that you're wearing. Had a really good opening event. So we're going to talk about kind of going into this next one, the cool facility that we can't wait to come see as Dynasty one of these days. And then, just everything that's going on right now in the league and with you. And just want to let you have the mic here for a minute and just kind of give everybody a little. I know that a lot of people heard your interview on PTG, but just kind of refresh the minds and let us know what you got cooking.
Yeah, for me with the Hurricanes, it was just really one of those. It was fortunate, right? Because it's just such a great group of guys. Mm-hmm. They're driven, they work hard, and the only thing that they were really missing was the opportunity to really focus on the game. And they were having to work to pay for their paint, their flights, their entries, and when you can take all that stuff away and say, hey guys, here's what I want to do. Like, I want to be able to kind of put you in a situation to go work on the things that'll make you better. And hats off to them. I mean, they put the work in, they're grinding, they're getting better, and I think that's showing out on the field. So, I hope that translates to Dover coming up, because they're working hard. So I think they're earning it.
Who'd you guys practice this weekend?
Tauntauns came out, and
okay.
This was a great field. Those guys got some snake players that can get in there and mix it up. It was great. They gave us some really good looks, worked hard, and couldn't have asked for some better guys to come out and do a layout with.
That probably gave you a really good look at that snake. It
did. Yeah, they put on a clinic on Friday, which will help us prepare. But we've got you guys. I have to verify, but I think Texas, we've got you guys that will be here for the layout already scheduled.
Yeah, I think we scheduled.
Okay, yeah. Well, sweet. Yeah, they don't tell me much here on this on my side. Yeah. I'm more of like I'm an ambassador at this point.
I think you and Legion, for that one.
Okay, awesome, sick. All right, I'm in there.
Nice.
I'm always a fan of going out to Dallas. It's actually almost closer to fly to Dallas than it is to drive to any of the paintball fields around here in San Diego.
Traffic, yeah.
Traffic, Sunday traffic is a nightmare. So I want to talk, a bit. We'll get kind of down to the nitty gritty on the layout and your thoughts there. Someone just made a comment in here specifically, and it was on my list anyway to ask. Just kind of making waves in the industry. What kind of, I guess, sparked your fire to come in and be like, I'm going all in now on paintball? Like I would say all in is even an understatement where you're at right now with everything that you're doing, what you got going on, and all that.
Boy, that's a big one to answer. I think that's a big one. I was in paintball for a lot of years, back in the day, and it's something that I love. I enjoy it. And when the opportunity came to come back, and when I kind of stepped in, the first thing I noticed is not a lot had changed. It was very very similar, same people, same companies for the most part. And I saw it more as an opportunity to be somebody that could possibly change it. And when I mean by change, I mean it in a good way. The players were still struggling. There wasn't a lot of, as far as the costs, to the events, the payouts, all of those things are just way imbalanced. As I said many times before, it's hard to call a professional sport a profession when it costs you more to play it than you make. A profession should be something that you're paying the bills with, taking care of your family with, and we're a long ways from that. And I feel like people have always, even back in the day, 15, 20 years ago, my first event was the 98 World Cup, and that's a long time ago. It was the same
That was mine
talk.
also.
Was it really?
Yeah.
It was the same talk. It was the same wishful thinking. It was the same, well, if this is going to happen, we're going to be on ESPN one day. I just don't think we're making the strides to be able to do that. And so I'm in a position in my life. I was actually thinking about retiring as far as enjoy it. I was wanting to go fishing and skiing and enjoy life. And, when we decided to get back in, my son wanted to do this. And I thought, hey, this is a great opportunity to do something with him. Some people know, I've talked a little bit about that story. But when I saw the opportunity to really come in and try to do something big, that's kind of my personality. I like to move mountains if they can be moved, and hopefully make a difference. So, I know people think that this is some sort of a vendetta against brands or certain thing. It isn't. It's a push to be better. I push the league. You can have the same conversation with Tom Cole, right? I push the league. I push the brands. My goal is just to make us better. As far as I think that we'll go into a few things that I'm hoping to be able to accomplish. But, this is not about, the whole paint thing that's been going on in the last week. It's just a way of, if paintball wants to be treated like a legitimate business and sport, I feel like it needs to be ran that way. It needs to be run like a true business, and unfortunately, most business people don't stay in paintball very long because it doesn't make a lot of business sense to do so. So I'm hoping that, that I can do some of the things and push the industry in that direction. It is probably the short story to that. It gets a lot longer.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think everybody can appreciate that. It's tricky though, because I guess I've been playing paintball. I've been in the industry just almost identically the amount of time. 98 World Cup was my first NXL event, or sorry, it was MPPL. What was it called? Was it MPPL? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Anyway, 98 World Cup. It was, whatever it was called back then.
Yeah, MPPL, PSP, XPL.
So it was something.
Moving on.
And you're right. There's been ebbs and flows, and then there's been a very large plateau, and then there's just been this stagnation, and it's tricky, right? Because you as a business leader, you understand, like, okay, we gotta provide like a high quality service, a high quality goods but we can't gouge. We got to make sure that people can afford to purchase our products or watch or consume our what we're trying to sell. And there's this really fine line and this balance within competitive industry of giving high quality at a fair price. And I think that that's where this sport in general is really hard just to hit the nail on the head, right? It's so difficult to find that because we are asking so much. And I do appreciate what you did for the Hurricanes, and they're a perfect example. And the Sea Dogs also, like these dudes are picking themselves up by their bootstraps to do everything they can out of their own pocket. And you're absolutely right. I think it's completely unfair. I think that the league, there should be minimums, there should be this, there should be that, but we need the league, the industry to be able to support that. And there's the juxtaposition, right? Is how do we get the funds to be able to deliver to the high end of the league without sponsors? And I guess maybe that's something that you can help bridge the gap in as well. But I don't know, what can we change, and how do we get to that point that you're talking about?
Well, first things first, I think the only way it can ever be done, there's not enough money in the industry itself, right? You want to continue to cannibalize that. You just basically take and take and take until that person leaves and the next person replaces them, and you take and take and take until that person leaves and another person steps in. It's the same thing that's been happening. In order to really make this something that's sustainable, where the league is still really a governing body, and there's money, it has to start generating income outside of the sport. Has to.
Yeah.
Because there has to be a reason for the Nikes and the Red Bulls and Under Armours and all of those companies to want to come in and start investing money. And whether we like it or not, it's not on the recreational, side, and it's not in the divisional side. We have to put something on the pro side together that is able to capture the audience and get the audience and the audience numbers up to where obviously those people want to sponsor, want to get involved, where there's value. As people, somebody who's owned a business before, right? So when I say own a business, I'm talking about very specifically a product that I want to be able to put in the hands, be seen on TV, and how much value do I put to that? And so, I made decisions that were $1 million decisions to put a product in somebody's hand because it was going to be seen on TV. That's not to be a platinum sponsor right now in the NFL, right? The platinum, top of the top. You guys know what it costs. I mean, it's advertised, it's anywhere from like $30 to $40 to $50,000 to do that, right? As a platinum sponsor for 5 events. That's platinum sponsor, 5 events, front and center, biggest booth, the whole thing. I couldn't even, with multiple of my last businesses, I couldn't even show up at one event as a silver sponsor and have a 20 by 20 booth space for one weekend for that amount of money.
Right.
Right. And so there's a lot of money out there that people are willing to spend. But it has to be for a reason. I wouldn't pay someone in paintball right now to wear my product and hold and put it on TV for $1 million. But I've done it before for college football. I've done it before for NFL. I've done it for the U.S. Open. I've done it for some of the at the Olympics and the Tokyo Olympics. I mean, we had multi-million-dollar deals with athletes and stuff that were over there, along with ESPN sponsorships and things that we did. I did a $5 million deal with Fox Sports that were covering the big noon, and the big noon games, as far as when Coach Prime was coming into the league all hot and heavy. There's big money out there when they believe people want to see it. It's all about the eyes when people want to watch it. And so, until we are able to put something out there that people want to see, we're not going to get to those dollars. And so, the league needs to separate the Major League Paintball from NXL. We all love NXL. We all love playing. Don't want to mess that up. I don't want to change any of that. I think Tom and them do a great job at doing that. We need a professional sport that's for TV, that's designed for the networks, that's designed to bring in outside sponsors, so that way we can start generating the money. And that is not just simply modifying the game like they're doing. They're just like, you go from 10-man to 7-man to 5-man to 3-man to 1-man, but it's the same. Oh, okay, no, we're not going to do split back. We're really hitting a home run with that. No, it's got to be bigger than that.
Right.
It can't be modifying. You got to change it up. You got to swing for the fence.
Yeah, I mean, and that's actually funny. Saying not funny. I mean, that's interesting. Kind of swing for the fence, like, because you came in and quickly acquired a couple businesses and companies and started your team and built this whole thing and kind of, I guess, a disruptor. In your previous industry, did you consider yourself a disruptor in your businesses? You would? So you kind of outside the box thinking, just let's hit it hard.
Yeah, I mean, the simple fact of the matter is I'm not in anything for 20 years. I'm just not. That's not my personality. As far as now, will I play paintball for 20 years? Sure. But if I'm running Contract Killer in 20 years, I didn't do my job. I hope my son is running it, or that maybe at that time, maybe he's doing it with his kid, right? But I believe that with my other businesses, I came in and I made the decision, is this something that I want to try to scale and grow at 5, 6, 7, 8% a year and spend the next 10 or 20 years trying to accomplish it? Or do I go all in and and do whatever you have to do to get there in 2 years. And so, my goal is to change things to where the league, the industry, Contract Killer, the Hurricanes, everything that we're doing is that I'm hoping that we can get to where we want to go in 2 years, not 10 years. That's just my personality. Is you do whatever you got to do. You wake up, you push, you grind, and you figure out a way. And if something's in your way, you move it. If you can't move it, you go around and find a different way.
Mm-hmm. Do you worry that there would be a lasting implications in case this goes tits up? Because if you I mean, and I guess I don't know if I presented that correctly, but if you move the mountain too much, the village can't survive, right? And there could be lasting implications. I doubt it, because we've had such a strong base, but and again, maybe we'll get into kind of some of your concepts and ideas of where you view professional paintball or paintball as a whole in 2 years or 5 years. But do you ever worry about that sort of thing? Like, oh, this didn't work, I'm out of here. Is that kind of the plan? Or is it this didn't work when I hit my goal? Because that's the other scary thing when someone comes in with grandeur and lots of cash, and they're like, hey, we got you, this is the thing. And then you're like, not you, I'm not saying this is you, but someone might be like, I'm over it, right? I'm stoked that Sarge was around for as long as he was. I didn't really see eye to eye with the guy, but he gave everybody such a great opportunity. Bart the same way, Alex. But you got a guy like Diego, for instance, who partnered with Mark Johnson and was like, yeah, we're doing it, we're shooting the moon. And then next event, he's like, I'm out of it. Yeah. So you could see where the scale could be on either side. Do you worry about that? Or are you kind of like, are you going to be okay with my goal didn't hit my goal here in 3 years, I'm over it, or I'm going to keep grinding?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think that's a great question, and it's definitely one that should be asked. And the answer to that is if this would have been 20 years ago, I'd have given you a different answer, right? Mm-hmm. So the 20 years ago, when you swing for the fence, or when I swung for the fence, I didn't have the ability to swing and miss, right? I've been fortunate enough by swinging, I connected, made the ability to where we are now, to where I can swing and miss. And I take a calculation that we may swing and miss, but we have the ability to continue until we get to where we want to go. So there's no quit in what my plan is. And so I'm as relentless in that pursuit as possible. And I'll tell you why, because it's not, even though I do feel like paintball is the perfect platform for starting what is that I'm wanting to start, but Contract Killer opened a door, an opportunity for something that I was not anticipating, right? So I came into this with paintball, and Contract Killer opportunity came up, and it's kind of like with a couple other of my businesses. When I saw them, the reason I invested and the reason I went so heavy was because I saw something so unique in it. And I was like, man, this is, if I do this right, if I put the right money, the right effort, grind, and do the right moves, that this could be really big. So for me, if anybody questions whether or not this is going to work, let me tell you why it will work. Because I'm going to make it work at any cost. Because at this point for me, it's as much about paintball as it is about Contract Killer, our brand. Contract Killer is a sports brand. It's not a paintball brand. Contract Killer is relevant in paintball because we make markers, we make jerseys, we make pants, we make paint, we do all that, right? And we have passion for that. But starting next year, we're branching off, and baseball will be one of our big sports that we launch into. Then immediately into soccer, football, and of course, we have a few of the smaller stuff like MMA and things like that. But we are taking, this is nothing other than a proof of concept of what I believe works. And what that is you go in, you inject incitement at what you're doing. You offer a premium product, something that people trust, they get behind, they want to be part of. And you go in and like what we're doing with the 5 Contract Killers. We're going in, bringing in the 5 best players in the world, and they become a Contract Killer. And we help promote them, build the sport as MVPs and all-stars, which is what a lot of the league is missing. But we do that in baseball, right? So we'll go after, NIL deals in college. We'll go after the Major League Baseball players. We'll pick the 5 best Major League Baseball players in the world that are our brand image. And the same thing with football. And so this has to work because what we're investing in paintball is a tiny, tiny fraction of what we're investing in other sports. And so we will find a way to make it work because this is our proof of concept. We're going to figure it out. We're going to dial it in. If we miss, we're going to find another way. And if that way doesn't work, we're going to find another way. Because at the end, there's no ceiling in baseball. There's no ceiling in football. As far as there's great opportunities for a company like Contract Killer to be something really big. And so we hope to be able to bring paintball with us as we're making those jumps.
Yeah, I mean that'd be awesome. I think one of the things that the sport can always benefit from, and obviously you have connections in there, is like it's kind of cool when you see just a random paintball brand. Very, very seldomly you see it like on a celebrity or you'll see like a JT shirt or you'll see, I think we saw somebody who was wearing like a Dynasty shirt one time just randomly. But yeah, bridging the gap, and I think like way back in the day when JT was privately owned here in San Diego, we used to do a lot of these crossover type events where you get celebrities out, or you get motocross riders, and you do these kind of crossover events. HK did a good job with it. They mainly are kind of in the gaming and streaming sort of thing, but albeit very popular nonetheless. But that's always a big hit. It's just kind of getting that staying power is the tricky one, right?
Again, it comes from that outside money. But the first things first. I mean, in order to prove the concept, you got to accomplish the goal. And our goal is to bring to market transparency, quality, and be able to do something. Our products are going to be a little bit pricier, right? I mean, you can't go and say, hey, we're going to produce the best of everything and then be able to come in at a dollar store budget.
Right.
It's impossible, right? But we want to be fair. We want to bring the stuff that people can afford, but bring it at a quality that people really expect. It's like MacDev. Okay, I know people ask, well, why didn't you just go and create your own gun? We talked to multiple different brands and companies out there, talked about acquiring them, talked about, and when it came to, we shot that gun, that marker is a one that, I'll be honest with people, like there were some things that I loved about it and there were some things that I hated about it. At the very core though, it was something that I was really impressed with. Extremely soft on paint. It has had a lot of good quality building blocks. It just needed a lot more quality components. It needed some changes that really brought it up to the level that we felt like that the pro tournament player is going to want. And so when we acquired that, we went to the drawing board and said, this is everything that I love about it, and we're stripping everything else away from it. And we're going to build on top of that with the concept that if it's even questionable, it goes away. It doesn't matter the cost. And at the end, we do things a little different. Like that marker is actually, we're shooting it right now. We could bring it to market. We could sell it. We're not going to.
And that's a new iteration.
Yeah, it's a brand new. It's the CK Assassin, right? So MacDev doesn't no longer exist in the tournament world. So that is the it's the CK marker now, and it's going to be the CK Assassin. That gun, that marker is going to be one I'm extremely proud of. That thing, it shoots darts. It's accurate. It's one of the. I'll let it speak for itself. I don't think there's a marker that will shoot as far as any softer on paint. So and we're even dialing it in past that, which is something I'm even more proud. And that goes back to like most companies would say, hey, this is pretty good. I need to start selling this because I have to start getting income coming in. And they bring something to market and they use the customers kind of as your test dummies. And then all of a sudden when something's wrong with it, they're like, oh, no problem, we'll fix it. But at the expense of the customer who wanted to go out and play with this weekend, they can't. Like that marker we could start selling right now. We're not. We're going to spend the next 6 months trying to break it in every possible way. It's all we've been doing. How do we tear it up? how do we make it as best quality of, that somebody could reasonably do. And we're not going to sell it until World Cup, whether that thing is ready to box up and sell. The same thing with our clothing line, the pants, the jerseys, the harnesses, our cleats. We have a full sporting good line outside of paintball that we have ready. Our protective gear, everything that we have, we could start selling it now, but we've got it on our players. We're out here breaking it, tearing it, finding out where seams rip. Because how many times have you guys or somebody that you played with bought something and then complained that, hey, it tears, it rips, or it doesn't last. My goal is to go, how do I solve that? And in some instances, it's making the product more simple, right? It's all the extra things that we put on just give weaknesses sometimes to product. We beat the crap out of our stuff as players. We're hard on stuff. And so what we want to do is go back to the drawing board, get people quality stuff, and just spend the time making sure that it's right.
You guys have all those guns covered up, right? Or they haven't been seen like fully?
No, and we have temporary milling on them. As far as the grips are not, even the permanent grips aren't on them. Plus we have them taped. We just, like I said, until the final rendition is out there, we want to kind of keep that in-house.
Yeah, it's smart also, because you want to make sure that the milling is like the last thing that you really work on.
It's a lot of tape though.
It is a lot of tape, but you get the the cool
tape. It's a lot of tape. we have 1,000 rolls of CK tape coming in, so we have tape on. It's gonna be crazy. Like, tape's gonna be everywhere.
Are you planning a big World Cup launch like it used to be way back in the day? Cool. Yeah. So that's when your entire product line is probably gonna.
Yeah. So it's Unleashed World Cup. So the idea is to get it all perfect, get it ready, and then just turn it loose. So we've got a big party we're doing Saturday night. The league's promoting that. Our booth, which I can't wait for everybody to see. It's one of the most impressive booths, and I've had some ones that I've been impressed with before that we've made. Chris, who's with Contract Killer, who stayed on as our lead designer. He just knocked it out of the park with this thing. I mean, it's 20 years of Contract Killer designs. It's going to be part of the VIP on the pro field. And so, matter of fact, the VIP will be CK VIP, and then there's going to be, this thing is 50 feet wide, it's 25 feet tall, and it's I said, something I'm extremely proud of that the guys have put together. And so we'll actually have the Jeep inside that thing. We will have a bunch of giveaways. We'll have a DJ there. It'll be a fun event, just trying to kick everything off.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were talking with Pate, sponsor of the show. Pate Smith. He's actually we're gonna announce the move of the event for the last event. But one of the things he said is, he's like, the NXL should have a really killer VIP. They should have a VIP, and then they should have like a top tier one. So if you have, for instance, say you've got your guys that you do NIL deals with, and you've got like a pretty big VIP guy that's just like, he's a little just slightly just would have a better experience than just at the normal one, right? There should be something that you can bring executives or high end clientele to these, and just have a couple of these booths. I think that'd be a great idea too, and that's what he was saying. It'd be cool to have that type of experience as well. Will that be open to everybody to be able to come in? And...
So the booth will be, the VIP will be open to everybody, but then the CK will have its own VIP seating just for for invitees type thing that come. Obviously, our main Contract Killers will be there. We're announcing one of those at every event. We've got the second one coming up here at Dover. And the fifth and final one will be announced there, and then those will be the Contract Killers for next year. So it's just kind of building up, where even though they're announced this year at the events, they really don't start. They don't really start as killers until World Cup, or effectively the day after.
Got it. You mentioned kind of the change. Let's talk about that a little bit. Do you feel comfortable? Are you okay with kind of talking about these concept changes for the sport or the league?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you have in thought? What do you have in mind?
Well, I think starting at the top down, I think the league needs to be a governing league in the sense that they need to have teeth behind, their rules, regulations, and things that they do, right? So if they have a rule and it says, hey, you're supposed to have a home and away jersey, and somebody rolls in with a different color not approved, there should be a rule book that specifies this, what happens, right? There should be uh, the team owners. When rules are made, the team owners should all be involved with the team ownership meeting to be involved with the teams. There's so many things that happen 3 days before, a week before. I mean, there's some stuff. I won't even go into the stuff that happened yesterday that was kind of crazy. I'm not even sure if you guys are aware of.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Trust me, I had to walk him off a ledge on Saturday. I was like, no.
Right. And so I believe that the the team ownership should be working directly with the league. The league involves the teams. There should be a movement to where there's like a players association. I believe the players should have some say in the things that are going on, right? I think the team owner should have more say in what's going on. I think, I was just talking with Fedorov last night, and he was bringing up a couple things, and I agreed with him. And it's like, eventually, if we want this to move forward, it needs to be moved forward in a way that we're planning for the future. I think the players should have a say in the way that things are going to go. I think the sponsors should have a say in that. I think the team owners. Right now, it's more of a league decides this is the way it's going to be, and that's just the way it goes. And those decisions are not always in the best interest of the teams and growing this in the right direction. So I think everybody having some real say would go a long ways in that. And I think they need to make room in the ownership for people that are willing to come in and inject money into the future of the Major League Paintball side of it. I think they need to let go of the reins, and if they're not willing to make the investment, then they need to let somebody come in and kind of help push that. Somebody like myself, I feel like I'm somebody willing to come to the table and say, look, guys, let's figure this out. What does the product need to be for it to really work? What's it going to cost? And if we all believe in it, then if they're not willing to put the money up, I'm willing to put the money up, figure out the terms to be able to do that, and we go swing for the fence, right? If we don't connect, we don't connect, right? But how many years? What are we going to wait? 20 more years?
Dude, I'm still waiting for that TV, that Dick Clark deal.
Right, it's still right. I mean, and it just doesn't change. So eventually, they got to let go of the reins. And my kind of push is give somebody a real opportunity that's willing to put their money where their mouth is to make it big. Because I'm here for the players. Believe it or not, I'm not against the other brands. I'm not against Defy. I'm not against HK. I'm not against as far as GI or anybody that's out there. We need competitive. We need other players and other competitors in the market. It's just I feel like we got to push to be better. I'm going to push the league. I'm going to push the other brands. I'm going to push the teams. I'm going to push my team, and I hope I push myself. And I know that sounds stupid, but I hope that when I put statements out like this, it motivates me to wake up in the morning to be better. And that's you don't want to say stuff like this and then go out and lay an egg.
Right. Yeah. No, it doesn't sound like you're just all talk. That's for sure. Have you just kind of to circle back on your overall concept? Now, I love the idea of people coming in and the league should proceed with caution to a certain extent, right? Because again, you can't imagine how many times I'm sure that we've, as an industry as a whole, players, teams, leagues, everybody's been burned by somebody saying, come on, let me just, take the reins here. I got a ton of loot and I'm going to do this and don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden you're sitting there at the airport with no ride, right? To give an analogy of some sort. But with what you mentioned, right? Because the problem is you want, and this, you're CEO of a company, right? You can't have oversight on everything.
Right. And
so you let your workers and your managers and your directors, they kind of have, depending on how long or short their leashes are, they get to make decisions, right? And at the end of the day, the league wants to make decisions can't always run it by everybody. And in their minds, they're without them thinking it internally like this, they're a benevolent dictator, right? You're like, I'm doing what's good. Dictators always in their mind, I know what's right for everybody. This is what makes the most sense. This is great, And at the end of the day, it leads to usually a bad scenario or situation. But at the end of the day, like everybody, you feel like you have the right, frame of mind, the right idea. And I'll just use this anecdote as a joke. But when Tom Cole decided, like, you know what, I got a good idea. I'm going to change the division names. Like you're going to be halfway. You don't know your division's going to be called I don't know what I'm doing. Yours is going to be kind of halfway good. Definitely not going to make it to pro and kind of close to pro. That's what you're going to do. It's like, pro. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, in his mind, great idea. Didn't pass the ball. Didn't talk about it. And that's where, obviously a goose egg. There was a learning experience from it, but my question to you is, okay, you've got these ideas. Have you already begun creating your board of directors, the people who you're going to talk and bounce ideas off of? Because obviously you want ideas from the league, the team, the players, lots of voices in there. Do you have like that in mind already? Have you already been consulting with people outside of your inner circle? Because you got to be careful.
Well, so like a week, I guess it's probably a week ago, I talked to Tom and I said, first things first. I said, I feel like, I think it's very difficult for the league because I feel bad for them, right? They're in a hard spot because when you're to make decisions and do things, and then you have 20 other people that all have their opinions on it, right? That is so I think it's very difficult. No, I don't think they can run but I think there are certain things that there needs to be a team ownership representation, that there's one or two people that are kind of voted in by the owners to represent them, to be in the know of what's going on, communicate with the league, be involved. I think the players need to have one or two representatives that have a voice in some of these decisions, because at the end of the day, these players are trying to figure out a way to feed their families too, right? I mean, there's a lot of work and effort. I mean, how many years have you got into this? I mean, it's a lifelong journey, right? And you guys obviously are a lot more fortunate than a lot of the others that have been put in a lot of the same work that haven't been fortunate enough to be in the same shoes. And so I do think and you know what, with Tom, I mean, the first thing he said to me was, I like it. Let's talk about it. Let's get together. So he's not, I'll say Tom Cole, one thing I'll give him about him is first, I've pushed him. And he has the same concern that you brought up. And I think it's very valid. He said, well, what if I give into some of these things and then, somebody's not there? And then I got to go back to, the people who were there. Right. And so I get it. Let's figure out a way to where there's some sort of concrete foundation for these moves, right? You do them smart, you do them calculated, but you start doing them, right? You can't run off of fear and say, I don't want to move forward because this might happen. You sit down, you have educated decisions, you have the conversations, maybe sometimes tough conversations, but you have them and you move in the direction. You don't stay stuck. Otherwise, just quit talking about ESPN, quit talking about all of that stuff. Just stop it and go play NXL paintball and let everybody come to the event and have a great time. But if you want to talk about this being on ESPN and Fox Sports and all this money coming in, the conversation has to happen. I mean, just so, that just the way that I see it.
You're absolutely right. And it is good. And like, I don't want to sound apprehensive, but just the pushback on a lot of the stuff, because I think it's great. It's a breath of fresh air, and it's, when you mentioned earlier, actually, I just did a little kind of webinar thing for a bunch of these entrepreneurs or hopeful entrepreneurs, right before this actually. And that was like one of the questions is like, how long do you bang your head against the wall before you move forward? Or, and the other one was kind of what we ended up kind of settling on is like, what's wrong with asking for help? Yeah. And how do you go about doing that? Now, control is a big factor. If you've got this baby, you've got this nest egg, and you're like, well, hold on, like I'm right there. Like I'm the one that I've got the right idea, and we're just trying to get the round peg through the square hole, and it's just not fitting properly. But I feel like there's a way in there. And so it's hard to relinquish that, you know? Like, imagine if when you were doing your stuff and you're like, hey, I've got this vision, and here it is, and you're just kind of like right there, and then someone's like, hey, this is what you're messing up on, and you're like, no, I'm right here. Like, right. It is hard, right? And you got to kind of look at it from both of those. Yeah, verbal. I'm done banging my head against the wall too. I would like to say that, even though I'm still playing paintball, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not done.
You know, you almost get defensive about it because it's your bait, you know, and then you get stubborn about it. Yeah. You know, because even if you think maybe I should do it, now it's like you've worked so hard, you're prideful in it. And I think that's kind of where we are in some of the stuff. And that's why I think it's important. Like, so you said, how do I see it going? I don't think the NXL changes the NXL. I think those guys have worked so hard. I think there's a good product. You know, I really do. It's like you go to the events, right. It looks like there's a lot of good things. I think it's separate. I think they should sell entirely different. Like there doesn't need to be 20 pro teams in the Major League Paintball. It just doesn't. There's not 20 teams that could afford to do it. I think they need to sell anywhere from 6 to 10 legitimate franchise spots, maybe $250,000 a spot. And they need to have those as an event by themselves. Maybe they're in an event inside of an event, because having that event at the NXL, you know, makes it look a lot bigger than what it is. But putting it inside an NFL stadium, I love what they did because, you know, it's for marketing and all that stuff. But it's not anywhere close to the near future, right? If anything, if I come to that event and I'm expecting the huge thing, and I walk in and it's kind of like at the end of the end zone, and there's just, as much as we want to say it was awesome to have those people, and it was, right? It's a step forward. But you got to think of it what somebody outside of paintball thinks. Mm-hmm. Like they're walking in thinking this big this is pro paintball, this is going to be huge, and they walk in and the whole stadium is empty. And it's got, you know, 2,500 people down at the end. I think the starting point is at small stadiums, right? Like, you know, where you can actually fill them up. You can actually see that there's people in the stands rather than kind of having to figure out where it is. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, people want to be part of something that is, and it's a perception that if you go in there and you feel like a small, you know, stadium up, maybe it's a high school football stadium, maybe it's a rodeo arena and you're playing in, you know, inside, right, or whatever the answer is. But that Major League Paintball is something entirely different, and those 6 to 8 to 10 pro spots are all invested. So like when you say what happens when it goes away, everybody's invested. You know, when you're talking about putting $250,000 in, you know, a person, you have the league that invests in it, you have the teams that invest in it, and you're all rowing in the same direction with one single purpose. It's not to put on an event that excites the paintball player. It's to put on an event that excites the networks. And that's what I think we need to do. And we're not far away from that. They got to be willing to separate the two. And I'm kind of stomping up and down about that, and I'm hoping maybe that's an opportunity, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's you know, the capital contribution to get that amount of teams, it'd be tricky, right? It would certainly be a shakeup, but I think that the capital contribution, that, you know, it was fun, and I'll just kind of keep saying this, but I really loved the X-Ball match that we did in Utah. Aside from the concussion I got, you know, I love the idea. I felt like, albeit it was in, you know, a little farm stadium thing, like out in the middle of the boondocks, but he did a good job of setting up some, like, you know, some nice chairs and some things. Not as many people showed up as he'd like, but the concept was perfect. You show up, you play your match to whatever 30-minute halves, I believe, with a 15-minute or 10-minute halftime, and you're done. We fly home. That's it. Right. It felt like how a professional sport should be. Like, I get the prelims and we're doing this thing. We're leaving for Dover tomorrow. I come home on Monday. It's like, we should fly in, we should play our match, and then we should go home. Yeah. And then you televise that scenario. And like, maybe you do like a UFC fight night thing where maybe there's the 10 a.m. match is a divisional, then there's a WNXL, then there's the pro one. So when people come, they're like, cool, I can come to this thing. I'm going to watch for 3 or 4 hours. I don't need to be sitting in the stands baking
all day.
For poor Joey, who's our stats scout, and it's like, he's sponsored by Brute Sunscreen. You think he got all the rest of the sunscreen from Blake, Well, the dude's out there just cooking. The top of his wrists, his fingernails are burnt. You know, and he's just out there. And but fans of the game, you can't watch a whole day of paintball. It's like you gotta be a psychopath or a ref.
The TV version of this sport is entirely different than the tournament version, and people they've just gotta let go of that thought, in my opinion, right? And I'm just like, I say this stuff like I'm saying that this is the way it has to be. I'm just telling you my opinion, you know. Like, I know everybody has one, so you know, and the way it all ends up, maybe my opinion changes as we find out more information. But in the way it kind of goes, I think you always kind of start in one way, and then you got to be willing to, you know, to go with the path where it gets you there. But you know, I'll put it this way: I'm willing, right? I'm willing to try to make change. I'm willing to do whatever can be done to make it work. And I'm just looking for people that are willing to kind of jump in with me and say, hey, you know what? You want to do things the right way. You know, let's figure it out.
Yeah, Dynasty's in. We might need a 250 large loan though. But we're in. Like, count us in.
but I think there's outside sponsors that get into that. Not like
once the proof of concept. Once there's a proof of
man.
concept, like you said, and you can show it, then yes, a pilot, something that's actually sellable. Then absolutely, you know. And it's actually kind of crazy because I've been on TV a lot. I've done multiple episodes on both Fox Sports, ESPN, to the point where they were like, you can go and get sponsorship. And every single person that we talked to, we had a big time agent also. He represented a multi-time Olympic gold medalist, football players. He's just like, man, I just can't sell you guys for some reason. I don't know what it is. And this is when Dynasty was in our heyday. And so it's just still this weird stigma, and I don't know how to get over it, but I think a good product, and right now with how live TV is going and what people want to see and the streaming wars and all this stuff, is a golden opportunity again to find a deal to be put in front of the faces that make those decisions. So, I mean, I think it's prime time to be able to do that.
We've never had the opportunity with the streaming capabilities, the direct consumer kind of avenue that we can go. We've never had this type of opportunity before.
Right.
And that's the reason I'm so adamant of grabbing it and pushing big now, you know, because it's such a unique opportunity. I see it. Like, I'm not saying I see every single path and that it has to be a certain exact way, but I see that there's an opportunity there. And it's like, you just got to get people that see that same picture, and you sit down with them. And if you sit down in the right room, you walk out with something that works.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, so just a small turn here for opportunities, right? And back to like the very beginning of our conversation, and just kind of giving players and like figuring out a way to promote the players, promote the brands, and getting people to be able to afford the sport and play more. Let's talk a little bit about the paint kind of deal that you just announced. What is it? Is it a marketing stunt? Is it something that you like? What exactly is it, and why are you doing what you are doing? Because that's speaking of a disruptor, right?
Yeah, paint specifically, right? So it was kind of the same thing with the marker. It's like when you go in and you look at all the different stuff out there, and you know, I know this thing is recently being specifically about Defy, and it's not about Defy. Like Chad, you know, over there. You guys are the first opportunity I have to really even talk about this, other than making a social media post. So if I've got time on here, I don't know how long this.
You got as much time as you'd like, my friend.
So I want to address that, because I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be one of those guys that people think are coming in and bullying stuff, because that's not what it's about. For me, it is trying to figure out a way to just be, as an industry, to be better. And I want to set the stage for that. Like when Tom talks to me, he goes, I really hope that when all of these companies see you coming in and like you're building the big booths and you're doing all of these big moves to promote, I'm hoping that we get some of these guys that have just been sitting on the fence willing to jump in and do more too. And that's what we need, is everybody to come in with excitement, willing to step up, take risk, and do that. And so with paint, you know, I visited with Defy, right? I talked a little bit about that story, talked with Chad over there, talked to multiple different people. And, Chad he's enthusiastic. He's a good guy, right? He's excited. He's wanting to go take on the world. I think he was at the time, maybe it's getting a little better, but I know at the time he was a little bit limited on being able to do some things and follow through with maybe some of the stuff that he hoped. And I was told at Texas and World Cup that he has been working on a ball and he's got one that shoots really, really good. The brittleness is spot on, but he's working on dialing in the accuracy. And when he combines those two things, it's going to be a great ball. So I was excited about it, and I was like, heck yeah, man, let's. And we talked about, we went over all the different things, and it came back. I talked to him on the phone, and he's like, hey, I've got this. They sent some cases, and it just wasn't that. I shot it, but he said, I got this. We've got this next one coming in. And at the end of the day, we had to make a decision on the way that we were going to go with paint. And I just did not believe at the time they were making their stuff overseas. There were just a lot of issues that were out of their control to be able to consistently put a paintball on the field that we felt like we wanted to put our name in. So when I talked to GI, Billy over there, they said, here's what we can do. We have the capabilities of doing exactly what you want to do. We'll make your stuff in small batch. If we're on a grade scale with our stuff from 1 to 5, and our grade scale is nothing hits the field under a 4, if you're willing to pay the little bit of difference, we'll make sure that none of your paint hits the field under than a 4.5 or a 4.6 rating. And everything about it is as close to perfect as possible. And if you're willing to, to send the skids of paint that don't pass your high level, then, you deal with it, right? And that we're willing to make sure we don't use any recycled product in what you're doing. Even our field paint. That's something I don't think anybody could say. Even our field paint doesn't have any starches. It doesn't have any recycled ribbons. Like we brought that all the way through. Even to our field grade paint does not have any of those things in it. And that's why it's just overall going to be better. And give you a great idea, right, on why it's better. Dover, right? We're looking at the weather. Last week, the weather kind of started shifting, and now it's looking colder. Now we're talking like mid to low 40s on some of these mornings. A lot of people who were making paint a month ago, or say in some instances 2 months ago, if you're shipping it from out of country, they're planning in, a 1st of May tournament being, 70, 80 degrees. And here we turn out at 40 degrees, and they're kind of stuck with the paint that they have. And if it doesn't shoot in 40-degree weather, it just doesn't shoot in 40-degree weather. We make our stuff in small batches. We picked up the phone, we talked to the plant and said, hey, we need to make an adjustment. We want to make sure we have morning paint and we have afternoon paint. And we got a shipment of paint that's coming in that's going to be that's CK morning paint and CK afternoon paint, all in small, they sit, when they take our paint, we pay the extra money. They literally take cases off of every single skid. We shoot it, we look at it, we make sure that it meets those high level quality standards. And you just can't do that at high batch. And it costs more, right? It just costs more money to do that. Right. But at the end of the day, I hope, and I feel confident that, in Dover, we will have the best paint there, or at least I'm doing everything I can do to do that.
So how is that sustainable? I mean, aside from the obvious answer is like, well, yeah. I can just keep swinging for the fences. Because like you said, it's expensive, and I appreciate it. I think it's rad. I think it's great for a paintball. I mean, I wish there were a way. Maybe I'll pitch you on the old water ball machines. But I wish there were a way that we could make it so that paintball players could play more paintball. Paintballs themselves, the consumables, is the one thing that holds this sport back from tripling in size or quadrupling in size. But it's the one thing that we can't get rid of.
Let me do a little math for you and tell you why it's sustainable.
I like it. You shouldn't have showed me your calculator. You should have just been pretending like you're Rain Man in the background. You'd be like, so listen, the square root of this, and then multiply that by 2,000 cases, 2,000 balls a piece, a little over here, and a little bit of weight.
What I'm talking about, right? So companies are very good at squeezing out every single penny. Mm-hmm. And at some point, the pennies start costing the customer. But if you're honest with them and say, hey, look, what is the cost difference between making a really good case of paint and just a mediocre case of paint? It's about $2. It's not huge differences. It's the differences between recycling, because when you recycle that product It goes right back in the bin. It's reheated, it's remelted, and then it goes back in and it makes the shell. And then when they trim it off, it goes back in there. It's reheated, it's well, when you do that 2, 3, 4 times, that material, it starts losing its elasticity, it starts losing its structure, and and then it doesn't break, it doesn't fly the same way. How much more does that cost per paintball? It's fractions and fractions of small amounts. So the question is a player and a team, after they spend thousands of dollars to fly to an event and entry fees and all that stuff, are they willing to spend $2 or $5 more a case of paint in order to get something that is going to consistently give them a better ball? I think you're just honest with people, and say, hey, am I going to get everybody to buy our paint if our paint is $30 and HK is willing to sell their stuff for 25, or Defy is willing to sell it for 25? Or am I going to get everybody? No. Some people are on a budget and that's just what they shoot. My sales pitch is guys, I'm going to give you that offering. It's going to be a few dollars more. It's not going to be $20 more. It's not going to be $50 a case, but it's going to be a few dollars more. But when you're spending all of that money to go to the event, 40 cases of paint, so you're talking $80, $100, $200, like spread out over the entire event. How many times did you possibly go home because you missed a shot if you didn't miss that shot by 1 inch, that player was eliminated, and you go and you hit it and you go on, right? One shot, one play.
No, you're speaking too reasonably here. This makes too much sense. It makes so much sense that it doesn't make sense. I 1000% agree with you. Why not have a better experience for a couple bucks more? Right. And if you amortize that over the entire event, it ends up being like, if you're splitting the budget on the paint, it's like $20 extra a guy, but you're playing more. But do you know that if you play more and you almost win, that means you shot more paint and it gets more expensive?
Well,
have you ever thought about that one? You're having me play more paintball, so I'm more accurate and I'm shooting more people, and our team's doing better. But what you're saying here is I might play more paintball, therefore increasing my budget even more.
I think it's different. At the end of practice, I look back at the net and there's like all those missed paintballs. I'm like, you missed a freaking lot.
Yeah.
And so miss less, shoot less.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so maybe you don't shoot as much paint because you hit what you're shooting at.
Yeah, you need to have there needs to be if you got, I don't know, I think you got a lot of loot, but you need to have some sort of holographic version of yourself standing out in the thing, speaking reasonably to customers or people walking by. It's like, do you realize that? And look, I learned this a long time ago, and I'm still actually, I just told Kyle I'm going to go buy just a cheap pair of rain boots. If you buy one pair of rain boots for the really cush ones for $100 and something bucks, you don't ever have to buy rain boots again. I get that.
Right.
And I can look myself in the eye and say that to myself, and I will still go buy the cheap rain boots. And I don't get it.
At the end of the day, a great paint is not going to make a bad team win. Just not.
No.
It just isn't. At the end of the day, it just is going to help you. It's like a professional, carpenter, has, the better his tools are, the more efficient he's going to be, the more, the faster he's going to get the job done. So I think it's an option for those out there that want to, that want that opportunity. Because here's the reason why companies don't do it. You say, well, why the hell would they not just $2 a case? Well, there's 120 cases on a skid, right? So that's $240 a skid that it cost the company. Well, 204, how many skids go on a truck? 28, 30 skids, right? Mm-hmm. Do the math. And financially, they make a decision to take that $2 and to take it out of the quality of the paint and provide paint that's just good enough, right? I'm trying to be the company that provides something that isn't just good enough, right? Because I believe there's plenty of people out there that are willing to spend a couple extra bucks. I just do. Like jerseys. Our jerseys, right. They're top. Like our jerseys are second to none. I can't wait until we bring those to World Cup and we hang up those where everybody can come up and feel those and see the difference of the materials that our pants, like our paintball pants. It sounds like I'm selling stuff. I'm just gonna let people see it. I'm gonna put it up, say you come see it. And if you wear that stuff and if you say that you don't like it, then hell, I missed. But I honest to God think that we're bringing some stuff that that's going to set the tone. And so, and we have to start with paint, and that's, we're going to make our statement there, and build everything else on top of that, because teams got to have paint.
Yeah, I mean, we live on a bell curve in this industry, and for those of you who are didn't get too super far in math, the 90 some odd percent of the people are living right here, and the bell on the other ends is where the low end and the super extremely high end, right? You got your Walmart stuff down here on one side, you've got your high end new whatever your markers or your high end CK or JT carbons, all these things over here on this end, and then you got everybody else sitting in the middle. And you're right, there is certainly a 1% market, and there is also the market for the people who are investing in themselves. Yeah. Right? Joey just said, buy once, cry once. Right? It's a really great. Yeah, I hadn't heard that one before, but you're right. Like just make it work. And it's all about player experience. And like I said, I was doing this webinar thing today, and one of the things we talked about is specifically like asking for help is another great example, right? I teach clinics. I've been teaching clinics for 20 something years, and the amount of time and money you save by taking one professional clinic in any sport, whether it's, John and I play golf once a year, and, he's a lousy golfer. And next time I went and played with him, and goddamn, how'd he get so good? It's because instead of him spending $50 a week going out and hitting range balls every so often, he spent $250 one time, got lessons, and now can kick my ass on the golf course. It's the same concept, but people fail to see that. It's like, again, they're banging their heads against the wall. It's stubbornness. It's like, well, I got this $2,000 gun, I got this brand new set of pants and this jersey, and then they go and practice, and they go, I want the cheapest paint you can possibly get.
Right.
Rather than spending an extra $5 at the field. And because again, I've been to a lot of fields, and I'm like, why don't people buy the better paint? And they're like, no, they refuse to. It's crazy. It's like, it's only a difference of $5 sometimes. And it's like, you're going to have a better experience. People are breaking paint. They can't shoot anybody. And all the while, it's right there. Like because we have that, the Dynasty ball that we do. It's kind of similarly what you're talking about. Made in the same factory. It's just run differently, and it costs a little bit more. Not just because they have to sponsor us, but because it's a better quality paintball, right? You're getting the 5-star fill in like a 4-star ball, but the just like everything about it is just a better quality paintball, and it's literally, I think, passed down to the retail customers an extra $5. Right. And it's pretty crazy, and I get it. We're asking people to come out there. They pay their $30, $40 entry fee. They usually buy 2 cases of paint, right? On their day off, they've been working all week, and they got to be there at 8 or 9 a.m. and they're paying to work essentially, right? And we appreciate everybody who keeps and props this industry up and plays paintball and loves it. And this is a very unique sport. But we're asking like, hey, it's about $100 a weekend that you got to pay.
Yeah.
And that adds up. But you're right. Like, you shouldn't cut corners when it's like the high end everything. It's like this is the main stage. You guys are here. Like do whatever you can. Prep your body. Like you've done all this hard work, and then you're like, I'll be all right. I'm just gonna let's get
right. Yeah. I'll tell you, I know you can look back and probably think of 100 times on just a bounce. A missed shot that you just missed, that you hit 100 times out of 100, right? That you just something happened and it turned the point, and it anytime you can give yourself, if you're one of those guys that wants to play at the top, right, and you're investing all this money, paints, it's just one of the biggest difference makers on the field. Bounces, accuracy, all of those things, barrel breaks. All of the things that happen that absolutely dictate the way a point plays out and then turns out the match. The biggest issue with me is not the fact that people want to choose the difference, because there's just going to be some people that can't afford to do that, and that's fine. I get it, right? I completely get it. My beef, and the reason that it kind of hit me such the wrong way, is when I saw the paint coming out of when I saw.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you about this. The paint, other people putting paint in boxes.
That's just because here's the way I see it, right? I've got a son, and I've got friends who play in the divisional side, and they go spend their hard-earned money based off of what they see online. And when
Mm.
somebody says, "Oh, you know what? The pros are winning with it," and then they go invest their, that's hard-earned money that they go and they have to make a decision based off of, what? I paid for flights, I paid for
It's
entries,
misleading.
it's very misleading. And it made me mad, honestly, because when I saw that, I was like, you got a Defy box and you got 5-star paint coming out of it. You know what? If your paint isn't good enough at that event, I may have some paint. We may show up. It's gonna suck, right? But if we show up, not right, but if we show up and our paint is not good, I will stand up in front of everybody and I'll say I tested the paint and it's not as good, guys. But shoot it, see what you think. You know what? But to go put it in a different box and then to go online and tell everybody that your teams are winning with it in order to get other people to buy your product. To me, it's fraudulent almost at some level. But at the very least, it's ethically wrong. And that's the part that I feel like if we want to be taken seriously as an industry, we got to stop that stuff, right? We have to stop doing that. Like if you swing and you miss, you swung and you missed. Apologize. Say I've made some big statements and I might not be able to live up. I'm going to try my damnedest to. But if I don't, I'll stand up. I'll own it, and then I'll be better the next time. And I hope people trust me and see me for that. And I hope that I keep grinding for them. I think that was my biggest beef, and so probably it came out a little wrong when I made that original post. And whether or not I second guessed making that post is one thing. I don't when it comes to that. I just don't think that that's who we want to be as an industry, as somebody who's going to deceive our customers. That just didn't that stung a little bit.
I love that, and and welcome to paintball. Welcome back to paintball, where ethics, morality, and reason, the ability to reason, are kind of floating around in here. They're like it's like thin air, when you're at high altitude. Like it's there, not always. And no, we've been actually. I remember losing an event to Impact, and Impact was not sponsored by GI, but they were shooting our Dynasty paint that they bought from the junior store, the BFP Gear sack paintball, and it was put into their sponsors' boxes, which is pretty, But like, man, it's just such a tough thing. It's like I don't even know how to even draw a parallel in other industries or sports, because I don't know that you can really even get away with it. I mean, in surfing, for example, I follow a lot of surfing. Like, there will be pros who are in between contracts and they just get a blank board made, right? So you can't have, there's just like, I don't know, you're not sponsoring me, I'm not sponsored by you, we're not gonna it's not like I'm putting a different logo on somebody else's board, it's a blank. But what do you do? Like, what do we do in this scenario? So let's just say the Hurricanes are sponsored by you, obviously, and you're shooting the CK paint, and it's like, okay, so let's just say we it's not up to par, right? Or it's a little too brittle and you got the first morning match. Are you going to go out and purchase somebody else's paint? And then
see, here's the only difference in the whole thing, right? Because I don't think it's a bad thing that another company went out and bought another company's paint in order to provide to their team. Because you know what? If I crap the bed, I don't want that to be something that holds my team back. So that doesn't bother me. You know what? If I crap the bed and I'm sponsoring somebody paint, then yeah, I'll go buy their paint, but it's going to stay in that box. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell people matter of fact, I'm going to take the opportunity to let my people know that I crap the bed and I'm going to be better. Yeah. And I hope
you're marketing a fake product.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even know. We need to get Pate Smith Law in here and get a class action lawsuit going here.
In all other sports, if that would have happened, there would have been a lawsuit. Like you just can't do that. Like,
yeah, you're not really. You're right. Like it's ethically wrong. But and I guess it's trying to save face for the brand. I think maybe if it would be one thing if they didn't promote. If you don't promote that this is the best, knowing that it's not, and saying that somebody is using it when they're not, I agree with that. I see eye to eye with that.
Yeah, how many fields see that and think, oh, you know what? Maybe I do need to switch from X company to Y company because they are winning with it and it is shooting good. Obviously, if X team can win with it, it's good paint. And then the divisional guys, they're like, whose paint do I want to shoot? And they're being promised, jerseys and this and they're like, well, you know what? It's not going to cost us a match. I mean, the pro team X is winning with it, all while they're not even shooting it. I people are spending money based off of what they're being told, and when they're being told something that's clearly, obviously not right, and they go spend their hard-earned money, I can only imagine a 10 or 12-year-old or 14-year-old kid, who is giving, it doesn't make much money. Their parents might not make much money, and they're down there playing Divisional 4 or Divisional 5 ball for the first time ever. And they come to the event and they saw those ads and they bought that product. Did they win or lose the event because they bought that product and it didn't shoot well? I don't know, but that's not the point. The point is they made a conscious decision to spend their hard-earned money on a product based off of the fact that it was performing well, and it wasn't even that product. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to kick a dead horse there. I just want people to understand I'm not mad at them. I just don't like that situation. I hope that by calling it out, it never happens again, because I hope that anyone will be scared to ever do that again. That's my goal, because we'll never do it. I hope that no one else ever does it, and not just in paint, but in anything, right? So I hope if it accomplishes anything, I hope it stops that, because as you just mentioned, it's not the first time that it's happened, right? And so hopefully, when it gets called out, maybe it is the last time.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean hopeful. I mean, yeah, and just so everybody is, marketing is misleading. It's not marketing. It's a little bit of deception, and I get it on both sides, but I absolutely agree with you on that, and I wish that there were I wish that were the case for a lot of things, right? Because people do purchase items based on their favorite athlete or representative or whomever it is actually using it, and that is false advertising. There we go.
Well, and I'll tell you this, right? Because I'll end this particular topic with this. How do you say in one instance that I think Chad is a good guy, and then turn around and say, I don't think it was done maliciously. I really don't. Like, I don't think Chad's the kind of guy to do that maliciously. I think the conscious decision was like, hey, my paint's not shooting good. I wanted to provide paint for my team. But at the same time, I'm trying to make a push in the market, and it'd look bad if they're shooting that. So, hey, just throw it in this box and don't say anything. And I think that's kind of like, I don't think it was like,
I don't think it's a malicious thing. I agree with you there. I don't foresee it as being malicious. I think it's a combination of excitement, right? Because your team that you rep wins or does well. I don't even know what team it was, but I know I get it from both sides. But I absolutely agree with you on how that works. And maybe Cassie just put up a point and maybe put it in your notebook on some of the rule changes. Is maybe make it a thing. Like it's got to be a thing.
The team needs to the league needs to regulate. That goes back to where I was going with that. The league has to have regulation, and they have to manage the stuff to make sure that everybody's playing. At a tech is coming into this. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that I hear about tech and being involved in the game that we don't know about type thing. So
I mean, what I think would be cool is, to be a platinum sponsor, you get 4 platinum sponsors, right? So say like GI, Defy, Contract Killers, and Pro DNA, or I guess there's 5 of us. But what would be really neat and would be each event is the platinum sponsors event. So it would be the GI Tampa Bay Open, and it would be the Defy Dover Defy event, and so on and so forth, all the way through. And at that event, that paint manufacturer supplies 100% of the paint, and it's all it's just, and the league hands out the paint. There's no testing. There's no this bullshit. Everybody gets the same shit. It doesn't matter if you're the Russians or your Dynasty or Contra or Hurricanes. You're just getting.
I've always thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, and then everybody, it's like you're the title sponsor, and this is your opportunity to put your best foot forward, and everybody will be talking about it. And at World Cup, boom, it's wide open.
Yeah.
Right. So you let your paint do the talking at one single event, and then at World Cup, you guys all got to shoot everything, or the people who travel, you got to shoot them all.
I think
It's
you'd
your
have
choice
to
now.
narrow it down a little bit too, though. That like, you know, if we're playing a map, if you're Team X, I'm Team Y, like the paint that we get for that match needs to both be from the same lot.
Right,
Like,
right.
it can't go like I can't get the
yeah.
bottom of this lot, like
Right.
the last cases, and then you get the new
rest,
lot,
yeah.
cush stuff.
Yeah. And you have
Or
a
you get
morning
to
and an
pick,
afternoon.
right? Everybody gets to pick their lot, kind of like now, you know, you go to the truck, you figure out which one you want, and it's, you know, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, the people watching, the people that are staring at each other, but I think that the other couple thousand people that are watching this, they don't really get to do that.
Right.
But yeah, hey.
Yeah. I think that'd be, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, like I said, I hope, right? I really do. And I will be the first person, you heard what I said. I kind of explained a little bit about why I said it, but I'll be the first person that'll walk up to Chad or any of those guys over at Defy and give them a handshake and say, hell yeah, when they're able to dial it in. And I think they're working on it. I don't think they're there yet, but if they do, it's just better for the players. It's better for the industry. They're not there yet, you know, that's my opinion. They're not there yet, but I will absolutely go slap them on the ass and say, hell of a job, and see you on the field and know that their teams are shooting damn good paint back at us.
Sweet competitor. And yeah, I love it. That's pretty cool. You know, it's nice to be able to give people props on what they do, right? It's to be in a position like that. And you're right. At the end of the day, maybe this whole shakeup is like you said, it just makes everybody a little bit better. That's what it is, you know. Every year that we lose Creator of the Year, we get a little bit better.
Just a little edge, you know.
We get a little bit better, right?
We'll get it next year, though.
We got him right where we want him, though. We got him right where we want him, right? Real quick before we get into the field, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the field layout, how you guys are playing it, how it played for you. I don't think we play each other, do we? No. Okay.
That's a Sunday.
One request, just so I don't forget, because I have it starred here. If you could put a bathroom in your VIP section at the World Cup, that was a special request from one of our viewers.
I like it.
That'd be very, very good. And then one of our viewers also just had a question. Tips for an aspiring entrepreneur who works 9 to 5, so very busy, and doesn't have a lot of startup cash. What would you say are good? Not always can swing straight for the fences, but what do you recommend there?
Man, you know when I had sold my first business or even the second business, when I was in between businesses, I spent more time on trying to find the right product. That's what it's about. I mean, you know, people ask me, well, how are you successful? It's like, well, I could have, like, you only have so many hours in a day, so many hours in a week. Find something that you can, like, if you're successful at it, that you can scale and grow, because, you know, your investment, your main investment is going to be your time. So you better find a product or a concept or an idea that is scalable, that if you need to do 10 of it, 20 of it, 30 of it, 40 of it, you can start raking really good money. If your idea is that I can be the best in the world, but I can only be one person and I can only do that one thing, you're going to be limited. So figure something out that is a really cool idea that can be scalable, and it doesn't necessarily take a lot of money in today's world, direct to consumer. Figure out something that you can market online. Big box stores are dead in the aspect of being able to do what you're talking about doing. So that would be my advice. Just find something you love, that you're passionate about, that solves a problem, that you know, that you can sell to people, that when they buy it, they use it, they like it, and they come back and get another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the tank dangle. That's right, Rip Drive.
That's a very tough question. So
no, it is. Like that. It's an impossible one, you know, because you see these online gurus or these people are like, oh, well, you know, you just got to do that. You know, it's like, whoa. Yeah. Also, just my advice is don't spend too much money on people on Instagram who tell you that they can give you business advice.
Yeah. You only have so much time. I mean,
yeah,
you know, like,
you're absolutely right.
And if you're grinding your wheels at being a one-man show, that's, even if you're the best at the best, you may make a good living, but I guess it depends on what your answer, that question is. Are you trying to make just a good living, or do you want to do something that would be big? And in order to be big, it's got to be scalable. Mm-hmm. You got to duplicate it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right there. And it's tough, like you said, for the 9 to 5, and it's just. But I think one thing you mentioned is find a problem that doesn't really have a solution, and then find a solution for that. And you're in the right path there at least. Don't take advice from YouTube traders. Yeah. Movie advice only from us, by the way. Investment advice, no. Or medical advice. Don't take that from us either. So this is from Junior over at BFPGear.com. Does a question of the day. I know that we were loaded with questions, but this is field specific for you guys, and it's pretty simple. But just the playing style. Did you guys do long points, short points, and then the follow up to that is just the snake side in general? What side of the two? Which of the two sides of the field were the faster or more aggressive sides?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think when you see this field, there's a lot of stuff happening in the snake. I think there's a lot of opportunities over there. I think the league is doing great. Jason over there, I thought in Tampa was a great field. I think he's kind of with the limited odds, which I'm not sure. I think it's the combination between the limited paint, the fields, set up and structured to be able to play a certain way, and then obviously the point differential no longer being a major factor, are all combining for a faster playing field. And now, can the pros slow it down? Probably will on Sunday, but I think this is a field that can play fast. I think you can absolutely win in the snake. You can win in the Doritos side. It's not a very middle. There's not a whole lot of stuff happening in the middle of the field. I thought it was a fun field. Tauntauns gave some great looks over there in the snake of how you could really play this thing. So I think we got some good looks at that. And then we've got some guys on our side that can turn that Dorito side into a way to win too. So I thought it was a fun field. We had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, it seemed like you got it was almost like a false sense of hope over on the Dorito side, because like you could run really far a lot of times. Guys would take huge bites and they would get there and like no one would get shot. Like you could just like nothing would happen. They would kind of be stalemated there in that center, and then all of a sudden here comes Billy Bonaccia charging down the snake, or Mikey charging down the snake, and it's interesting. It was almost like an attention suck over to the Dorito side. Like guys would be like, "Oh man, there's something going on over there," and then all of a sudden, dude would just run down the snake side.
I bet Billy was like, when he saw that, he was just he was pretty pumped. He should have a good event, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're gonna probably end up. It seems like, well, let's see who gets the. Does your CK contract killer thing have anything to do with the move of the? Or sorry, not move of the event, but the MVP of the event?
We hope it coincides, right?
Sure.
But it's not necessarily the same. So like Harlan, like at the MVP of Tampa, he's had a hell of an event, right? I mean, shot plenty of us. He was the MVP of the event, but as a contract killer, it's more than that, right? Mm-hmm. A contract killer is not just like what you did at what event, and I hope he does it every single event. Seems like a great young man. He's got some great coaches over there. He's got some great people to be playing around, and I think from my understanding, he stayed out there the whole time between events. So he's doing the work. So I hope he really is. One of these days, we're calling him up. But contract killer to me, and it's always been somebody who is consistently, that presence, that they might have a bad event, but it just motivates them to come kill you the next 5 events. And so the 5 killers are selected not off of just the performance of one event. Obviously, it'd be great if they were one of the best performers, but they don't necessarily have to be. It's who we feel like is consistently, like basically, like if I asked you, curious, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but if you had to name 5 players that you felt like you could pick and put on one team, and that they would be your 5 best player killers, because I have that same conversation sitting around at a round table with all of my guys and team and contract. It's a tough conversation, but who would you put if you had to put 5 guys together? Who would you put?
So you're okay. So just for the criteria. So the criteria is kind of is based on how you feel a player their mental capacity or mental tenacity, rather, their playing ability, their ability to be a difference maker on the field. So all of those things, you know,
At any given time could turn the match, turn the point.
Yeah. Well, there's political answers to this, and there's the right answers, and you know, like.
Well, you have to say, I guess, no dynasty players.
Anybody that you feel like would
I can
be.
put dynasty guys on there too.
Yeah.
You know, you would look at that. I think that the hardest one to find would be on a guy for the Dorito side. I mean, you have Fedorov, who's obviously that difference maker. You can put him over there. I mean, Malloy is a guy who's a difference maker. Marcelo is a guy who's a difference maker, quarterback on the field. Mike Urena is an absolute difference maker on the field. Mouse is a difference maker on the field. So you have guys like that. J-Rab's another one. You know, but then you want to add that dedication. You know, you want to add that team mentality, right? Guys that are going to be mentors, even on. And the ability to work well with the others as I feel like is another attribute. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. That really is. But if you look at difference makers and guys that are able to play on you want a guy that can play everywhere on the field also, right? Plug and play. So you're putting your best 5 players over there. Anybody out there who wants to put their 5 in the comments, go ahead. We got J-Rab, Malloy, Kirill, Trevor Reeser, Mike Urena. You know, those are pretty close and on par with that. So is Fedorov the first one?
So Fedorov was the first one. We're naming the second one in Dover, and then the third one Cincinnati, Texas, and then the last one Cup.
And
but that's a tough, man, because you know people ask like, who is it going to be? And the way that we treat it is it's CK for life, right? So they're a member. It's kind of like the green jacket at the Masters. Like once you get it, you're a member. And so we went to the OG killers. And we went to them all and said, hey, who do you want to be in your club? Who do you feel like has earned it? Who do you think grinds year in, year out? And who do you think that you feel like has earned that spot to be in that club? And so we took that very seriously in this next pick. And the guy that's going to get that second spot was almost unanimously, you know, picked in the group from everybody. So, you know, I talked to him, you know, he was pumped and excited about being part, and couldn't ask for a better guy to be our number 2 pick.
And let me ask you this without kind of, 2 questions. One, who's the voting board, or is that?
So we have a combination between, our members, you know, of the management of CK, and we take in the OG killers, and then we sit down, and then we have, you know, obviously business decisions behind that. You know, whether you like it or not, you've got business decisions that have to factor in. Like for instance, are there 2 players from one team that could absolutely be a killer this year? Yes. Does it make sense business wise, branding wise, to have 2 players from the same team? No. Will they make the cut next year? Very well, maybe, right? But we won't have 2 players from the same team voted in, because we just don't. We want to spread that out. So even though there might be like it was a tough decision, because we were going down when we make these decisions. There's 2 people, and it's like, all right, but if we choose this person, that means this other person's not going to be able to make it this year, and they're deserving.
Wow.
So it's a tough deal, man. It's not an easy decision, because it means, like, when I talk to these people, the OG guys, like when you talk to them, it was a big deal to be named a killer. And the type of marketing that we're going to put behind these players, there won't be a person that's marketed any heavier. There'll be it's going to be a big deal for these guys. We intend to make them, they're already stars, but we intend to make them superstars. The Tom Brady's of the league, the Patrick Mahomeses, the CeeDee Lambs, those sort of things.
So are they going to be required to wear contract killer gear head to toe as well? Like how does that work? Or is it just kind of like a badge of honor? And like off-field gear, like how does the marketing pay that?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's a badge of honor, right? And I got into a little bit of a beef. I'll talk about it a little bit. I got into a little bit of beef with HK and some of the other sponsors when we start talking about how we go through this. And at the end of the day, I can't force those companies to, because the simple fact of the matter is they invest into a team, right? And that team signs the deal, and that person's supposed to wear that. I'm hoping, so they can't stop a badge of honor, right? So at the very least, the killers will all have a badge of honor. They will be one of the killers we will market and brand, and they'll be part of all that. Are they going to be able to wear a Defy, are they, sorry, if they're Defy, are they going to be able to wear a contract killer jersey or any of those sort of things? Probably not now. Well, that was funny. Was there a delay? Is there like a delay? Because I heard that.
Hey, we're not live. We can go back and edit it.
No.
No,
There was, your screen is frozen maybe like six times this whole time, but it's like for like a half a second, and your face kind of paused for a second right after you said that, and I was like, oh,
we didn't know we were supposed
cold,
to.
Yeah, it was
Cold.
cold-blooded right there for a second.
No, you don't have to edit that. That's funny, but
It's okay, we can't.
The idea is that at the very basic level, they will have that badge of honor. My hope is that the sponsors see that. Like, I'll give you an idea, right? So say it's HK, and their player is an HK. This player is an HK player, and they put a CK strap on the HK goggles, or a CK, something on an HK shirt. When we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars marketing that player, they are still an HK player, right? HK gets brought along with that. CK is a badge of honor on top of, it's kind of like an MVP award, and so, it's something that I hope the sponsors come around to see that, because I think that now I also understand the hesitancy of it. So we'll iron that out. But at the end of the day, if it's a player that we feel like that we want to have wear CK stuff and shoot CK stuff, and they don't want to allow it, there's always the opportunity for us to go sponsor the entire team, which we'll probably do.
Bingo. Easy.
I mean, I don't mean that as in a negative way. It just means that, our business model is to have the five best players in the world, be part of what we're doing. And we can do that by simply, having them be one player wearing that. But, if they're not able to do it, then our business model can't change. It just means that maybe we're sponsoring teams instead of players.
Yeah, it's like when you're going to the pizza place and you're like, hey, can I get a slice? And like, we don't sell pizza by the slice. And you're like, okay, well, I'll take the whole pie then.
Right.
I'll show you guys. No, you're right. And I love that, man. I think it's great because it opens up opportunities. It allows people to find a viable way in this sport to be able to do what they love. Really? Yeah. At the end of the day, who are the OG killers?
Oh gosh, I'll send you a list, because there's 18. Now some of them, there's 8 of them that are kind of still in the game, some coaches, some guys that are still involved, and then there's obviously some that are not. We got some, so I'll send you an overall list. And so back in the day, like for instance, we've got Gerald Garcia, right? Gerald Garcia is actually working on our staff. He was literally one of the, I think he maybe even was the first, right? So Gerald is a good friend of mine. He's on the CK staff. He's just a great human being, and he couldn't be more. I don't want to speak for him, but I don't think he could be more excited about the things that we're bringing back with CK, just because he wore that as a badge of honor, that CK for life mentality. He's just lived that, right? I mean, he's just the very definition of a contract killer. And so, when you got guys like that, part of that, that family, so yeah, but they were the ones that were originally on the trucks, on the billboards, and that original thing. And, anyways, so, cool. There's some people that work for competitive companies, so I don't want to bring names into it, so I'll send you the list.
Yeah, I get you. That's sweet. Yeah, you gotta get a hold of Little John. Someone mentioned his name in there too.
Little John. He was the definition of a contract killer, man. Yeah. He played on my elite team with Gerald and some of those guys back in the day. OLJ.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we used to play against him back as the Iron Kids and Out of Control. Let's see, Out of Control and Iron Kids way back when. There was he was like our arch nemesis on the opposing side of the field. Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Well, man, this is really cool.
Hey, Jason, I can say this. Jason Trosen, right? Jason was an OG killer.
Oh, no way.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not know that. No.
Really? So he's one of the neutral guys. He's one of the neutral guys I can mention, and so
is Brandon Lambertson on there? Wasn't he a guy?
No.
No. Yeah. I thought he was one of the guys. I thought he was like one of their dudes.
But there's like some of the guys that like Nick Cuba, Tyler Mashad. There's
Tyler.
Yeah, and so there's some great guys the guys that just that might shoot you an extra time or two in the back of the head when you when you're playing type mentality.
Awesome, I love that. I'm just trying to
back in the day,
I'm just trying to make it to the finish line here. I don't got to be first. I just got to make it across the line. Well, dude, this is awesome. I'm really glad that you picked up our call. And I'm really happy to have had you on and the opportunity to come on. I think it's really great what you're doing. Obviously a shakeup. I've been doing this for a long time. Like I joked about the TV deal, way back when the NXL was formed, they were like, oh, we're doing this big thing, and the powers that be, every major evil empire corporation owned a pro team, and they all went into cahoots and were like, okay, we've got this big TV deal that's in the works with Dick Clark Enterprises, and they're gonna do all this. You were around back then too, and we're gonna make millions.
I thought you did.
And we did, yeah, Dynasty did. And we just got to sign our rights away to all of our likeness. But we're going to keep all the money. And we're not going to let Dynasty in, which was really funny. They're like, oh, those guys, because we were just sponsored by JT, I think, back then. And JT wasn't one of those companies that was in the mix. And so they formed the NXL, and it was, full uncapped or 15 balls a second or whatever, and it was they would just do exhibition matches. They'd come to these events. Dynasty would be over there playing in the other league that we were allowed to play in, win 20 grand and go play the NPPL and win another 25 grand, and all these other pro guys were like, nope, we've got this big deal, dangling this carrot in front of their faces, and it just, the thing went tits up. No one got anything. All they did was sign away their likeness and their rights to their names, and were told what they could and couldn't do. And the opportunity was taken away from them, and it was kind of a bummer. It's a bummer for competitive paintball. It was a bummer for them. It was a bummer for a lot of people. But what I like is your ability to kind of, like you said, shake things up, but also, have a circle. Hopefully they're not all yes people. Hopefully they're not all on the payroll. That can be a problematic for growth. But
you don't know the guys on my payroll.
No, yeah, well, I don't know, right?
I'm just joking. I'm joking because they don't agree with a lot of the stuff. Like we go back and forth and we iron it out, right?
Yeah, it's good, and you need that. That's another thing for those of you guys who are going in for the entrepreneurship, is make sure that people aren't just telling you telling you what you want to hear all the time. But I love that you're giving an opportunity, right? For a lot of people, like Sarge left, so that kind of created a void, and not a void in like we lost some great leader. It was more of a void in players being able to do what they love and make a living off of it. And so you came in and you brought that to the Hurricanes organization, which, like you said, there were guys who worked really hard, and they deserved to be able to compete at the highest level with the highest level of support. And so it's really cool that you were able to do that, and you're able to provide for those guys. And then on top of that, taking a big chunk inside the industry and a big bite in there to hopefully make a competitive industry more competitive. Yeah. On all fronts.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you start talking about the things that happened before. Like, you have to learn from the past, right? You don't want to make the same mistakes, but you can't let the past keep you in a fearful mode of not be willing to move forward and take risk, right? So, but I think you need to be smart about it. And so, but even all of this, like you mentioned about the players, it all boils down to me is I get to come out here this weekend, hang around guys that I call friends now, family. You couldn't ask for a better group of guys than the Hurricanes, and that's honest to God truth. They are the best human beings in the world, and just being able to go out there and play and see them getting better and succeeding and achieving their goals. Even if I don't get to do anything on the field, or I'm sorry, as far as off the field is business, that being able to do that with those guys on the field is, I can't speak highly enough about these guys. They are doing it the right way. And I really hope for them that, they go get it done in Dover, because they're earning it. They deserve it.
There you go. Awesome. Well, hey, I look forward to coming out there. I've seen and heard great things about your field. I heard you have a kangaroo also. Is that real?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
not an excuse to go.
That's out there?
Yeah. His field's in Australia.
That's when you're not supposed to be on Facebook Marketplace at 1 a.m. and impulse buy.
I didn't know. The Facebook Marketplace is over here in California. Mine's filled with surfboards and citrus trees and rocks.
It wasn't impulse. It wasn't.
I didn't see the kangaroos, but I'm best believe I'm about to look.
It was a friend that was like, "Hey, we've got an extra couple kangaroos." I'm like, "Well, why not?"
Yeah, why not? I got a couple extra. Yeah. I love it.
I didn't think that through.
Well, you got a kangaroo.
Everybody loves them.
Conversation
They come see the kids love them.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a couple donkeys too.
Not nearly as cool. We got one bet in. Maybe we should put it on the Paintball Picks website. Who's going to be the contract killer? That's what we should have. Is like a little odds market. Someone here says it could be Harris Hussein. He's certainly a difference maker. Look at that. See, Stone Cold. See his face? He didn't even move. It's going to be Harris.
It definitely should be. I would love to see that. I would love to see kind of what people are predicting that person to be every event. That'd be great.
There it is.
Yeah.
You don't have to bet on it. It could be like a fun thing. It could be like the free thing.
Yeah.
Maybe you win something like whoever. Well, I guess a lot of people would probably guess it right. We'll figure something out.
I tell you what, I wouldn't even mind throwing something CK into the winner somehow, some way.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would win though, because the selection pool is pretty small, right? Like you get
how many people vote typically?
What?
Well, we were just saying throw it out because I made this like paintball app where it's not really betting, so that it's legal for all the states, but it's just paintballpicks.com, and you can go. You just basically are like anticipating and trying to predict how all the prelim matches go, to even where you can like select overtime or a team won by however many points you think they'll win. And then it calculates. You buy a ticket, and then it goes into a prize pool, and whoever has the most wins, just based on the prelims. But I put like some insights and stuff, teams based on Tampa.
Matchup calculators. Some statistics are in there.
I don't know if you can do it this way, but if you wanted just for anybody who actually correctly picks the killer, let's put them into a pool, and we'll draw one out at World Cup, and we'll give them a brand new assassin.
Oh shit!
A brand new car. Come on now. You totally made. I thought it was going to be a splash.
And you get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
Like who wins the grand?
We'll put everybody in there. We'll see if we can build that out before you announce it.
What was it
you
for?
Put every player name in there, and then people just go with free entry. Just give me your email address or something.
Yeah. Just whoever gets. I don't know. However y'all want to, but whoever gets it, picks it right. They just go into a bucket in some way, shape, or form, and we draw the name out on Saturday at the party, and they get a free assassin just to.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I write it down.
Yeah. Hey Siri, remind me to. Well, awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely do that, or get that going and see what we can do. But and then we'll see you in a couple days.
Yeah, and if there's any way that CK can be part of you guys' show, I love what you're doing. I mean, you're out there you're grinding too, and you're making differences when you can do it. And if we can join the fight and be part in some way to help you guys, make moves, hey, holler at me. Let me know.
Absolutely,
Sweet.
we'd love
Thank
that.
you.
We'd love that. Yeah, let's chat next week. I'll come do a little drop test.
Hey, yeah. No, really, absolutely.
And just real quick, if you want to pitch, how does that work? Where do they find the paint? What's the deal you have? And
yeah, so it's simple, right? Just if you want to come try the paint, then go to the GI booth where you would normally buy the GI paint. You're going to fill out a little paper that's going to put your name, your team name, and just you're going to buy the paint. They're going to give you 2 tickets instead of 1, and at the end of the event, I'm writing the check for how many of those free tickets they gave away. So all you got to do is go get it. They give you, every time you buy one, they give you a free one, and it goes on my bill.
BOGOs. Well, again, big thanks for what you're doing in the sport in such a quick time here. You hit the ground running is an understatement. So I'm very glad that, and I'm sure I speak for a handful of other people, especially those who are going to be getting a BOGO there out in Dover, that you decided to choose violence over fishing and relaxing in retirement. Violence and chaos. I chose chaos.
to see my son out there at 7 o'clock in the morning, grinding, enjoying it, having, I'll take that over fishing any day.
Awesome, dude. That's it right there. I can't wait.
All right, fellas. We'll see you in a few days.
Awesome.
Right,
Safe travels. Thanks for coming on.
All right, see ya. Dude, that was epic.
Nice.
Right?
Good combo.
Great combo, great timing. I mean, that was a really good conversation. The disruptor. And look, I watched the show. You sent me that video, all the videos, the little beef back and forth. And you know what? He might be right. It wasn't necessarily to stir up beef, albeit that's exactly how it ended up being perceived. But it seemed like at the end of the day, genuinely, he was like, "Look, I just don't want to people to be misled." And that's where he felt that it was, it's a nice characteristic to see. That's like an actual shining little bit of a characteristic to see and be like, okay, well maybe he's, there's something to this. So that's, generally speaking, not a bad thing. But obviously, like if you guys don't have a paint sponsor, obviously get GI paint without a doubt. But go out there and test it. It's like when you put a t-shirt on. It's like, do I want a Tiger Wear shirt? Do I want a JT shirt? Do I want do I want one of these Hanes or whatever it is? You got to put the shirt on. You got to feel it. You got to make sure you look good. You got to look in the mirror a little bit. You got to drop it from your waist and from your shoulder and just see where things go. And that's no different from what you guys are purchasing. Make sure you guys don't just listen to us. I mean, you should for sure buy all your stuff at bfpgear.com if you're going to buy stuff. For paintball, but do your due diligence. Make sure you think for yourself. Don't always listen to the yahoos on Instagram and YouTube. They don't know exactly what they're talking about all the time. So I finally finished Landman. Okay, I watched 2 movies also. I hope Camille can't hear me really well because I've been really hammering it home with movies and TV and stuff like that. Marty Supreme. Watch that with you. Sick. While Kyle designed some new Tiger Wear JT collab items.
Oh, yeah.
Which
should we give him a sneak peek?
Dude, they're sick, actually. Yeah, because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up the wheel of names anyhow. And in the meantime, I can pull up what those things look like because I'm going to do a little screen share here. And
yeah, maybe we can... we could even give one of those away for a mega member in the next couple weeks.
Mega members. Well, in a couple weeks, in 2 weeks exactly. No, the next show. Yeah, the next show. We're going to give away another bunker.
Yeah.
Did you guys send that to my personal email?
Yeah, I think
Everybody keeps sending these things to my personal email.
Well, I didn't know you have a second email.
I do. It's the email.
Just like how you didn't know I had a second email.
Yeah. I did email you from that separate email. This one?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
This is the one you sent.
Yeah, it's just not.
Oh, this isn't the right one.
I mean,
here. They're down here. They're down here at the bottom.
Well, here, look.
Hey, Ferdinand, welcome
It's in the
to
first
show.
email.
It's this one right here. Wait. Whoa. This one. All these guys. Booyah. This one?
Yeah. No, go back.
Oh, can't preview. This one.
Yeah, just because it's a little centered better with the
Oh, right. It's not. It's
I'm
not a
particular with
screenshot.
the
I see.
white space and the font.
Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to show a little bit of a preview here. Let me move this frame over here, this guy over there, and we're going to have the wheel of names kicked off here as well.
He said you hit the table too loud. You do.
I do. When
you're clicking and moving the mouse.
And, oh, well, this thing's...
He said we need a boom mic to get off the table.
So, I have a boom mic.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got one. It
Well,
just
we
sits
also
right
have the
in
little
front of
mics too.
Yeah, we've got those lights. We got to put those things back on.
Yeah.
Oh, like that little noise right there?
Ferdinand piano.
Ferdinand. He's on it.
Welcome.
What
else do we need to talk about?
That's it, really. Okay. Tigerware Designs coming on up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not right.
This is not it?
No. Look at it.
What?
You can't tell what's wrong with that photo.
He's all kind of a little grainy.
Huh?
What's wrong with it?
Look at the other one.
What one?
Jesus, man. Can you not tell? It has big black blocks over the logos. On that
I
one.
thought that's how you wanted it.
That's how I want it. The other one had big block.
That's the one you sent. I don't know. That's why when yes, you sent this. That's why I said I don't like this one. I said this one's not very cool.
That's what it
That's
looked
why
like?
I was like, yes, this is what it looked like when you sent it to me. And I was like, I don't like that one. And you're like,
well, what's that? Where'd you get that from?
This is what you sent, and I was like, I like these ones better. I like number 1 and number 2. That's why I was like, I don't like the one with the big block logos.
That was not supposed
I
to.
thought that's what you were trying to do.
No.
Let me go back to download.
Oh, you know what? You downloaded the file, which I think was like the SVG, and it saved weird. That PNG is.
Is this one it right here? Which one do you want me to get?
Either one of those is fine, but that's the better one.
Okay, I'm gonna get this one. Yeah, it's the same thing. This is what just popped out.
Yeah, but not that.
What do you want me to do?
That one.
This I literally
Perfect.
What?
Run it.
Watch. Download. Guess what's gonna happen?
Cool.
It's gonna have these giant blocks in it.
Oh, weird.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. So when I downloaded these things, I'm gonna share this so these people stop.
Yeah, there you go. Share that one.
The one that I was originally gonna share.
Yeah.
So these people don't have to listen to us banter. Right
Sorry,
now.
guys.
Oh man. All right. So let me share this.
Yeah, it is what we do. This is what we do at the field.
This is it.
But with a high.
This is it. And guess what? The whole
with
time,
a little bit louder, like anger.
I was right the whole time.
Well,
So
about what?
About the image.
Oh,
See,
the image.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I thought we were talking
You gotta
about,
listen to me.
I thought we were talking about the field.
You don't listen to me. That's the problem. All right, so here we go. Here's some Tigerware JT collabs. These are pretty sick.
More coming.
I'm pretty excited about this. And we just got a handful of others sample images done as well. And these are actually going to go on a PO tonight. And they'll be available. The goal is for WCPPL weekend. So these are going to be the grind long sleeve playing shirts, exactly like this one right here that I have with the the Cordura ripstop arm pads. So it's a heavy cotton. Cotton's back, man. I'm wearing one actually right now. Oh, did you guys hear that one? That was my knee.
Oh, you grab your elbow.
Well, I was showing everybody that I've got the elbows on.
Yeah.
Little misdirection.
I see.
Yeah, these are sweet.
You know, I just realized too. The paintball picks deadline was tonight at 10, but I'm gonna put it back. Give an extra day to tomorrow because the games don't start till Friday.
Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking.
So, give a little plug to Paintball Picks while I spin the wheel a couple times here. Booyah.
I put the link in there.
I was supposed to spin the wheel.
You better make sure that door's closed so they
Better
don't
make
come
sure
in
that
here and
door's-
trip all over the wires.
Yeah, those boys seem like they're ready to
shut
rip.
it all the way.
I shut it.
It doesn't look like it's shut.
1, 2, 3.
Bob Custer. Oh yeah, I should probably write that down. Also, as a reminder, everybody who is a member of the show, we want to thank you guys tremendously for your support. But make sure you guys send us your addresses. I thought you weren't wearing a shirt for some reason. In here. Oh, Steve!
Go, Steve.
Go, Steve!
Go, Steve.
He has numbers?
1905. That's when he was born.
The
I'm just joking, Steve.
JT paper.
As a reminder, next week, Boat Squad members, we are going to be doing a grand prize drawing. Can you leave those chocolates in there? This is for somebody who's
I remember
I ate some.
what we needed to do.
How are these?
Do we need to do the...
How are these for someone else? This is Ryan Greenspan. I already ate some of the chocolates.
I know. I heard you, honey. This is a signature. Because someone's going to get this pod signed by me and Uncle Kai.
I'm just going to get the chocolates.
No, you got to leave the chocolates in there. That's part of the experience of when they win. So you don't get to... It looks like you've already been eating chocolate because I can see it all over your face. Here you go. Will you sign this one?
This?
Oh, yep.
Hey, give me my
And
chocolate.
for all of you guys out
want
there,
this?
the Pate
Yeah.
Smith. This is a good one. No, don't give her any more chocolate.
Chocolate. I just
Wait, your dad...
Alright,
I'm
no more.
torn. Here, you
more.
take it because I don't want to be blamed.
Put it back in the pod.
Okay.
Also, you guys, as I'm gonna pull this thing off and put some mega status members on here. We have the Pate Smith law firm move of the tournament for event number 1. So this is a really cool, and actually it's neat that we were able to talk with John specifically about the ability to provide for paintball players, because paintball players are not the highest paid, but it's great to see an outside industry sponsor, fan of the sport, fan of the teams, Pate Smith, also a player, an outside or non-endemic, as I would say, for Alex, sponsor of the league, the show, and this right here specifically, sponsoring move of the event, giving a cash prize to the move of the prelims, and a cash prize of $1,000 for move of the event in general. So 2 players from the first event are going to be getting some cash right now.
Then we'll queue it up. We didn't have the video. We could show it on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll get a video queued up. We weren't able to get it because it was a little. These are tough to do.
It's tough,
I
like
feel
right
bad for
before the event. Too.
Yeah, and Maddie kind of has a lot of those things to go through, and it's one of those things where there's a lot of really great moves. But I do want you guys all to go to Major League Paintball right after this show and check out these 2 specific points. First of all, the move of the prelims was Jonah Rodriguez from Uprising in 0.8 to go in and tie. He does a nasty 4-pack against Shock to tie it up. Uprising was playing really well, and the Shock guys were actually playing really well. As also, if you guys go to paintballpicks.com, you guys can see how well they were doing.
They're third
and
for
overall
average
scores.
points.
Yeah.
4
I told
in the league. Third.
She said, tell Dad to give your chocolate back.
Oh, okay.
I said chocolate back.
Oh, 1 second.
Maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to wait.
Why don't you see that burger that you pulled out of your nose first?
Yeah. Maybe you want to wait till.
Just wait until we're
till
done with the
not
show.
done.
Maybe done with the show.
But
You could like
It's
go find
not
something else.
chocolate.
Maybe like find something else
Like
to do
5 minutes.
for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
No.
Do you have your watch on? Go get your watch so we can tell what time it is. Because we stopped this at 6 o'clock.
Or like 2 minutes.
All right. And on Sunday, good luck trying to explain to a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, that she can't have her chocolate. This is your chocolate. You guys won this.
Guess what? I put my wrappers in there.
Okay.
Move of the event on Sunday, taking home $1,000 is Chad George from Impact. Welcome back to Impact, Chad George. 3-pack and 0.2 of the finals. It wasn't as flashy, but it was definitely the best skilled run that was seen that day specifically.
We've been meaning to get Chad on too.
Yeah, we have. So maybe he sees this.
And we were supposed to get Marky on.
I know, but this is the last minute. We had to get this one on.
Yeah. We need to see what the juice is about.
We got to get the juice. I think John Brinkman absolutely knocked it out of the park. Big thanks to John. Great things that you're doing out there. The shakeups. I mean, I guess it might be a little too early to say. But big thanks also to all of our show supporters. I saw somebody in there in the comments ask how you get your name on the wheel. And if you guys join the channel, so there's a like, subscribe, and then there's also a join button. You guys can join any of the 4 tiers that we have. We do really appreciate everybody's support on the show. You guys just liking the show, commenting, all that helps some sort of algorithm and technical stuff that we don't really know a whole lot about. But what we do know is we thank you guys all, and big thanks to our sponsors, BFP Gear, for question of the day. Also, the #1 place to shop online. We got Pate Smith and Pate Smith Law, who is a big sponsor of ours and a big show supporter, good friend of ours, great to chat to, and he's also your personal attorney. If you guys have any issues with any insurance claims, he is your guy. Free consults, give him a call. And then, of course, Gen X Global. Thank you for giving my daughter chocolate. But most importantly, thank you guys for these awesome pods. They have pods in Dover. I think it might be already a wash there. You might not be able to get any more. They might be sold out. But check out the Gen X Global booth. If you guys need pods, this is where you need to go to get them. Guys, everybody's going to Dover. Good luck to all of the competitors out there.
Get in the snake.
Get in the snake. And then if you're not in the snake,
guard the snake.
Keep your eyes on the snake, especially that big gap right there. We'll see you guys out in Dover. We'll have some new stuff available at the JT booth. I believe we're going to have some of these new pants available on jtpaintball.com. Also BFPgear.com. A couple of Signature Series items and just a lot of fun. Pack warm. Play paintball. Stay happy. And we'll see you guys next week with a big fat spick and span bunker.
And head over to the Instagram and check out any new content.
Yeah, that's right.
I think there's something over there.
Put your pics in at paintballpics.com.
Spicka Span Show!
Almost didn't get it. Where's the new one?